Guys, deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for watching and rocking with the best. Welcome back, man. Let's get into it. Alright, cool. We've had the juice. Milinkovic, what's Milinkovic? Milinkovic Savic. I'm sure you've known about him. If you didn't know about him prior to the World Cup, you've known about him now. In a day and age where potential is a great buzzword, where people don't look for if players are actually the players that you're claiming to be, where it doesn't matter if defenders can defend or it doesn't matter if strikers can score goals as long as they can pass the ball, as long as they've got potential to be amazing. We don't look for competence in this day and age. So yeah, man, potential is a buzzword. He's earmarked as being a 100+ million player. So with that, the PSGs, Arsenal are interested just for no reason. United, Madrid. He's been linked with these sort of clubs in it, and he is someone I rate highly, bro. And you've seen me speak about him and review his performances against Costa Rica. Who else did Serbia play? Costa Rica. They've obviously played Brazil, which we'll get into. And I'm missing someone out. Apologies. Switzerland. That's it. And his Switzerland games. Out of the 3 games he's played, I'm going to expand on Brazil. But out of the 3 games he's played, I'm not really impressed in per se. Probably his best game was against Costa Rica, where he was given a license to support Mitrovic up front, and he got to showcase his randomness in the sense that his dribbles, his passing range, what he can really do. But in that game, you also saw him give the ball away on the edge of the area, which they can pay for against bigger sides. So you've seen his lack of concentration. Switzerland, he weren't bad, but he weren't amazing. Like I've told you lot in this second game, he didn't look out of place, but he didn't do anything amazing. To be fair, Serbia, that can be said for the whole team. Obviously against Brazil. Now go and watch my review on the Costa Rica game. Do you guys remember me specifically saying I need to see him in a game where his team is not dominating midfield? And what did you see against Brazil? Look at the possession stats. They did not dominate Brazil for possession. It's always going to be difficult against Coutinho, against Neymar, Jesus, all these guys when they drop deep and do these nice little plays. So you need to stay compact, be disciplined, be calculated, think 10 steps ahead. And these are all the things that are associated with actually being a success at the Madrids, these big teams where there's a lot that you have to do on top of being a good footballer on the pitch, but you stand half a chance if you do these things correctly and consistently. And for as much as I rate Savic, he's not ready for them moves yet. He's not calculated enough for them moves yet. Like I said, if you look at Modric and Kroos, he's been playing poor this tournament, but 9 times out of 10, they're calculated. He's still relying on instinct. You have to always enjoy your football, but he's still enjoying football too much. He's just doing silly stuff. Against Brazil, he wasn't bad. I felt he was good in tight spaces. I felt his passing was a bit so/wayward. Like I said, he's never gonna be able to showcase what he can do on the ball because they're not dominating midfield. Although, what was it, the 42nd minute? There was a lovely drive where he bursted through the middle or so, dribbling, and Casemiro and someone else tried to stop him, and he's physically a beast. Like I said, he was tight in good spaces. Needs to improve on the dark arts of his game. He's good with the ball at his feet and them things there, but in terms of positional wise, in terms of closing man down, he really needs to work with him. He's not at fault for Coutinho's goal. People are playing men onside. The fullback, whoever he is, isn't tucking in. But if you go and look at Paulinho's. If you go and look at it, who's the closest man to Coutinho? Who should really be busting the gut to close him down? Who? It's Savic. If he closes down Coutinho, I don't want to say it's just him, but if he closes down Coutinho, that ball doesn't come. Now, you see what I said earlier about being calculated? You've got to think in that moment. Coutinho is one of the best players in the world for picking out a pass with the ball at his feet. I need to close him down. I'm not saying that thought didn't go through his head, but all he saw is the ball come over the top and bang. These are the things. And on top of, if he was to, I'm trying to focus specifically on the teams he's been linked with, Madrid and these sides there. I do think he'd be a good addition, but for me, he needs to stay at Lazio or go to another team where he has scope to develop, define himself as what sort of midfielder. Clearly, he's better going forward than he is defensively. He needs to improve defensively. Similar to Pogba, I believe his best thing at the moment is box to box, being a beast. And if someone could work with him on that, he's got a lot of good qualities. He's good on the ball. He scored a lot of goals at domestic level, so he is decent. He struggled in the deeper role, which he probably at some point in his career is going to have to be able to play in and be multifunctional if he is to join these bigger clubs. So it is a bit of a problem. His build-up play was poor, but again, this is, like I said, this game against Brazil, you're not going to dominate midfield, and these are the games I wanted to see a man in, to see his level. I believe he's great, in my opinion. I believe he's a bad boy. I believe he's going to be sick. But is he currently a 100 mil player? No. Again, in a day and age where potential's a buzzword and all of these things, yeah, you could say he is. But for me, what I saw, nah, man. Out of the 3 games, boss Costa Rica. If I'm being cynical and critical, should be expected to. So against Switzerland. Out of 10, I give him a 5 for that. Maybe even 4.5. Brazil, poor showing for everybody. And it's not even just him. I'm not trying to dig out Savic, but this is the man in conversation. He weren't at fault for the second goal. Matic, someone who has worked under Jose and set pieces and defensive things are a big thing under Jose, switched off and allowed Thiago to score the header. But for all his tech, he's great on the ball. But for me to take it to the next level, in short, someone needs to sit him down and explain football to him in the sense that, of course, he knows more football than me. The man plays the game, but be more calculated. If the ball's here, you need to be there. If there's danger over there, where should you be? He needs to be more proactive rather than still just relying on ability and still just playing with instinct and enjoying the game rather than defining who he needs to be. Because I believe he'd be great to bring off the bench and give games and give rest to at Madrid currently, but I'm sure that's not what he wants for his career. I'm sure if he goes to these sides, he wants to be a bad boy signing. If we look at a club he's been linked with in United, now I believe him and Pogba would boss it, but they can both be classed as indisciplined. So if I'm going into a must-win game, whether it's a title challenge or latter stages of Champions League or whatever, and I'm United, and I put Pogba and Savic in there with Matic and things like that against, I don't know, the top clubs in the world like Madrid, they've got the ability to boss it. And if they're all switched on, they will boss it. But at the same token, both of them, and again, I'm not digging out Pogba because I do believe it's a lazy argument, both of them need to be more calculated and enjoy football a bit too much. So with that, they might venture forward to get onto the ball. Matic might be left exposed. If you were going to play these big boys in the Champions League, and that happens, Matic can't get close to Kroos, Modric and Casemiro. So you can see where the problems develop, people. In short, I believe he's a bad boy. I believe he's a good signing, but 100 million, it's not his fault. He didn't slap that price tag on him. Quite rightly so. Lazio should demand a mad tag for him. But yeah, man, the World Cup, like you've seen with Guedes and a couple other players, you get to see the level people are at. Again, people are mocking him and saying he's rubbish and that. He's not rubbish. I guarantee you he's not rubbish. He just needs to fine-tune his a bit aspects of his game better yet. So yeah, man, there's not much more to be said, man. The main thing that really annoyed me is that you're standing off Coutinho. Like, you could see it developing. I know that. You have gone for academies playing professional football. You should know that too. And no doubt, like I said, he knows more than us because he plays the game. Yeah, man. Guys, deluded. Let me get out you guys' hair on that, man. That's the final one of Savic as he's now out of the competition. Guys, I'm out, man. Comment, subscribe, do the rest. Bow.